Okay, next is 10.6. Finding segment length in a circle. So how long are the segments this time? Not angles anymore. Length of segments. Okay. There's 3 rules again for this section. 10.6. It's already drawn here, so I'm not going to redraw it. So according to 10.4, if you have segments of chords, so these are 2 chords, correct? If you want to know how long is a piece of that chord, let's say AE, CE, DE, or EB, all you have to remember is this rule. Okay, so it splits into 4 segments, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So start with the first chord AB. Take the 2 pieces, multiply them together. So that's EA times EB. So that's what I wrote. Part times, well, what did I use? Part times part, correct? Sorry, where's the one that I already put? Oh, no, sorry. Sorry. So I put part times part, segment 1, or chord 1. Segment or chord 1, yeah? First chord. So take the first part, multiply it by the second part, which is EB. And then you set it equal to the product of the other chord segments. So which is CE times ED. Okay. That's it. So that's that section. So let's just say, I'm going to just make it easier for you. X, Y, and then A and B. So all it's telling you is you take X times Y equals A times B. X times Y equals A times B. That's the rule. Okay, the next one. How about if you have 2 secant segments? How do you find pieces of that segment? Okay, this one is a little bit more complicated. So again, start with the first secant segment, which is EB. So segment 1, or the first segment, EB. You have to take the outside piece, which is EA. See? Outside part, that's EA. This is outside. Times it by the whole thing. I need the whole piece. That's EB. Times the whole part, or the whole, not the whole part, the whole thing, whole segment, equals, then you do the same for the second secant segment. So again, start with the outside. That's easy. Outside part, multiply it by the whole. Okay. Outside piece times the whole equals outside piece times the whole. That's if you have 2 secant segments. Okay, and then the last rule, what about if you have a tangent and a secant segment? This one here, because outside and whole are the same, right? This is the outside piece and the whole piece. You just square it. EA times EA. Outside and whole is the same. So take the outside part squared. Squared equals, then again the outside part, which is EC, times the whole. This is the whole. The whole is ED. That's what the rule says. Okay, so here you go. Next one, so these are all insides, these are chords. So just take all the 4 pieces. Start with segment or chord AB. Again, it doesn't matter which one you start with. So AB, so just take x plus 2 times x plus 3. Make sure you guys can see it. X plus 2 times x plus 3 equals the other side. I'm just going to use a different color. That one, so you can differentiate. Equals x plus 1 times x plus 5. So that's how you do it if it's chords. So of course we have to FOIL. So that's x squared plus 3x plus 2x, that's 5x plus 6 equals x squared plus 5x plus 1x, so that's 6x plus 5. Move everything to one side. If I minus x, that they cancel each other out, right? If it's on the left and on the right, they cancel each other out. So then I'm gonna move the 5x to the left. Oh no, sorry, the 6x to the left. So that's negative x equals move the 6 to the other side, to the right side. So minus x equals negative 1. Therefore, x equals 1. If x equals 1, find AB, which is AB is the whole thing, right? It's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3. So that is 3 plus 4, 7. And then next one, find CD. CD is this one, x plus 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 5. Oh, I taped it so you cannot see it, but that's a 5. So therefore CD equals 2 plus 6, that's 8. Next one. Here we have two secant segments. So there's an outside piece here. So according to this rule, it's the outside piece times the whole equals the outside piece times the whole. So start with this outside piece times the whole thing. Okay. And then set it equal to the outside piece times the whole thing. That's what the rule says as far as segments, how to find segments, segment length. Okay, so we have x plus 1 multiplied by the whole thing. Okay, the whole thing, should I show baby steps? Can I just do it here? So the whole thing is x plus 1 plus x plus 3. Therefore, that is 2x plus 4, right? 2x's plus 4. And the other side, outside piece first. Oh, I should have used green here, sorry. X plus 2 is the outside piece times the whole. The whole is x plus 2 plus 2. So that's 1x plus 2. So, no, plus 2 plus 4, sorry. Okay. So, and then you FOIL it. Okay, that is 2x squared, right? Plus 4x plus 2x, so that's plus 6x. And then 1, so that's 4, equals x squared plus 4x plus 2x is plus 6x plus 8. Okay. Here the x's does not cancel out because we have 2 here, we have 1 here. So we have to move everything to one side. So if I minus x, you're left with 1x squared, right? Plus 6. Move this. Plus 6, it becomes a minus 6. Minus 6, this cancels. And then move it all to the left. I'm moving everything to the left. So plus 8 becomes minus 8. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Equals 0. You can factor this, or you can just solve for x. So I'm going to show you two ways to do this. You can factor it because this is a difference of squares. So let's factor it. Every time it's squared, we usually factor here first if you can. That's x plus 2, x minus 2, right? But then you multiply to get 4. That sums to 0 because there's no x term. So therefore x equals 2 or negative 2. This case, you can also just solve for x. Minus 4 equals 0. So you add 4. And then square root. Opposite of square root. So square root both sides. And if you square root, don't forget it's plus minus. So therefore, square and square root cancels. So you're left with x equals plus or minus 2. Okay. In this case, everybody, what number is this? Okay. In this case here, you see it says x plus 2 here. So if I plug in just make sure it works out, okay? Because you cannot have a negative length. So you have to check. So the positives are okay. We're just checking the negative 2. Make sure if you plug in a negative 2, cannot have a negative length. So negative 2 plus 1, right there. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. You cannot have a negative length for EA. So therefore, the negative answer is what we call extraneous. It's an answer that doesn't make sense. Okay, so therefore, answer here. Okay, no, but if that says x squared, it's okay because if you square negative, it becomes positive. But it's just an x, so negative 2 plus 1. It's negative 1. So that's why the negative doesn't work out in this case. So answer only is yields a negative side length. Okay, so just be careful. Double check if it's a negative answer so that it makes sense. Okay, next one. Here you go. Find the length of, oh, after that you have to plug it in. Sorry. If you plug in x equals 2, find EB. Excuse me. EB equals EB. So here it's answer is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 plus 3 is 5. So therefore it's 8. And then find ED on the other side. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2. Oh, sorry. Let me explain this again. EB, it says x is 2, right? So 2 plus 1 is 3. That's how I got 3. And then 2 plus 3 is 5. So the whole thing is 8 from E to B. And then for ED, you can just plug it in here too because I already added. But just in case. So 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 2, it's 6. Okay. Next one, find ED only, but we have to set it up first. So here you have a tangent segment and a secant segment. So if it's tangent, there's only an outside piece, so you multiply it to itself. So that is 6 squared, or 6 times 6 equals an outside piece, which is x, times the whole, which is x plus 9. If that's x, that's 9. That's x plus 9 together. Okay, so that's 36 equals x squared plus 9x distribute. Okay, again, this is quadratic, so move everything to one side. 0 equals x squared plus 9x minus 36. Sorry. So 0 equals, again, factor it. The coefficient is 1, so you don't have to use AC method. Just ask yourself, what do you multiply to get negative 36? That sums to 9. 12 and 3, right? 12, 3, and we have to do plus 12 minus 3. That's a 9, correct? So therefore, x equals negative 12. What makes it 0? And just in case you forgot how I got this. So it's x plus 12 equals 0. So minus 12 minus 12. It's x equals 12. And then do the same for this one. Sorry, forgot the x again. That's x minus 3 equals 0. So plus 3 plus 3. X equals 3. Or just switch the signs. It's called the zero product property. Okay. So again, here, I cannot put a negative side length here. So that's why 12 is extraneous root. An answer that you get, but it doesn't make sense. So answer only is 3. So if x is 3, find ED. ED is 3 plus 9, which is equivalent to 12. Okay. And then here, just a quick example for all 3 different scenarios. It's just solving for x, so I'll do it quickly. So again, if it's chords, you just multiply the pieces together. 8 times 6 equals x times 12. That is 48 equals 12x. Therefore, x equals 4. Right, divide by 12x. Okay, next one here, 2 secant segments. So if it's secant segment, there's a piece outside. You have to start with the piece outside. X times the whole thing is x plus 4 equals outside piece 2 times the whole thing is 2 plus 4, which is 6. Okay, distribute x squared plus 4x equals 12. Quadratic, set it equal to 0 because we're going to factor. Minus 12 equals 0. This is going to be, what do you multiply to get negative 12? Again, you don't have to use AC method because there's no, the coefficient is 1. So it's a simple problem. What do you multiply to get negative 12? That adds up to 4. That is 6 and 2, right? Positive 6 minus 2. So therefore, x equals negative 6 and positive 2. Again, here, it's just x. You cannot have a negative side length. So therefore, x is 2 only. Okay, last one here. It's a tangent and a secant. So this one only has an outside piece, so multiply it to itself. X times x, or x squared, equals 5 times outside piece times the whole. Okay. This is the same as this and this. Okay. And then this is 5 plus 10, 15. Okay. So that is x squared equals 225. Opposite of squared is square root. Therefore, x equals plus or minus 15. Again, it's only an x. I cannot have negative x side length. So we're going to disregard the negative. Final answer is positive 15 only. Oh, I did that wrong. It's not 15 times. Sorry. Did that wrong. It's not. How did I get 25? Oh, I did 15 squared. Sorry. It's not 15 squared. It's 15 times 5. That is 75. Square root of 75. Square root of 75, sorry. So this is 25 times 5. 5 times 5. So square root of 5 times 5 times 5. So that's 5 square root of 5. But, I mean, some of you know already. Square root of 25 is 5. So, I think I need a break. I've done 5 videos in a row. Anyway, one more after this. Okay. Sorry. That's plus or minus 5 radical 3. Again, we're going to disregard the negative because can't have a negative side length. So final answer is x equals 5 radical 3.